when strength improves and when hypertrophy increases, is there also involvement in the ligaments and tendons? That is, do ligaments and tendons themselves grow and or get stronger?
This field is really difficult because connective tissue is not vascular. And so their plasticity is significantly lower than skeletal muscle. In fact, if you look across all the organs, skeletal muscle is one of, if not the most plastic, meaning it's the most pliable, the most responsive, the one that's going to adjust. It's paying attention to everything that's being said in the body. You cannot change blood pressure or pH or macronutrients floating around without muscle knowing about it. It is, in fact, this is why we call muscle an organ. People don't tend to think about this. If you were ever on like Jeopardy and they ask you that question of like, what's the biggest organ system in the body? People tend to say
the skin.
Muscle is actually the correct answer.
All right. Well, I'm going to cite you when I get it.
You'll probably get it wrong at Jeopardy.
On Jeopardy. I don't have any immediate plans to go on Jeopardy, but who knows?
Oh, there you go. Celebrity Jeopardy. Andrew Huberman.
Wait, I don't know about the celebrity part, but Jeopardy would be fun.
Yeah.
But I will say the muscle, and I'll if you get a phone call on Jeopardy, I don't know, I haven't seen that show in a very long time, maybe ever, then I'll call you. But that makes sense. So the muscles would be the largest organ system in the body.
The reason I was saying that is, so muscle is both listening and talking. It is controlling the immune system a lot. It's controlling blood glucose regulation. It is the central depot for amino acids, which are needed to do things like regulate the immune system, build any new red blood cells. A lot of this stuff is coming from skeletal muscle. So when we say organ, by the way, that's actually like a physiological definition. So something that's communicating to either another organ itself or throughout the system. So it's listening and it's talking. Connective tissue is not the same way. And so we do see adaptations with strength training in connective tissue. It's just much lower. It's difficult to measure. Effectively, what we know now is you're going to have a combination of adaptations throughout the connective tissue. It is beneficial. This is probably one of the major reasons that strength training reduces injury risk, which is very, very important because people who tend to want to pick up an exercise routine after, say, 10 years, the classic cliche is like, I played all these things in high school, then I went to college, got a job, now I'm 25 or 35 or whatever, and you sort of want to jump back into what you did when you were 20. Well, there's no tissue tolerance left. And what we almost always mean by that is connective tissue. The tolerance in there is not ready for the load you're about to handle, and so you go through some movement and then boom, sprains, tears, even the more significant ones are an Achilles tear, which is going to really sideline you. So those are some of the problems. And we know strength training has a large role in injury reduction for stress and strain and overuse injuries, and that's specifically coming for the connective tissue adaptations. Again, the difficult part here is it's very hard to assess